How's it going, everybody? Cole from Talkers on the Wall here today, and I have some Invisible co stars, and we are here to review Invincible Season 4, Episode 6. Now, let's just go straight into it. I'm going to give this one probably like a solid 7.5. There's a lot of things that I really liked about this episode, and then some things that I just felt not only deter this episode, but need some improvement. Definitely gonna need some improvement, and I'll get to that in just a second. We'll just go highlights right away. Obviously, the Nolan and Oliver character development was greatly needed, and it's like the brash coldness of how um, Nolan was in all of episode 5. It's really good to see more of like that heartwarming and like that Viltrumite Nolan kind of way, and I thought it was extremely believable. I had a lot of fun with it, and there's just a lot of things to like about it. I think this is probably Oliver's best episode, like period. Um, he gets a little freaky with a little lobster. But yeah, no, I mean, there's just a lot of things to like about this. And just it's just the bones of this episode is literally just we're gonna have two characters, and these guys are forced to work together, and they have like this relationship where Oliver looked up to Nolan, and Nolan tried to be a good dad. And then there was some iffy stuff that I was thinking with Nolan, like how he apologized to Debbie, and what he did on Thrax or with the Thraxans, he regretted, and that Oliver's mom was a mistake. But now that Oliver caught him with that information, he's like, no, I was lying to protect Debbie, which, I think it adds a new layer to that conversation, because he sounded really sincere when he said that Oliver's mom was a mistake to Debbie. And now, is he lying to Debbie, or is he trying to protect Oliver? It's like, I don't think that ever comes up as a guy that I did not read the comics at all. But it's just very interesting, and it makes you think if he really did care about Oliver's mom. Uh, it's like, okay, then how much was he really lying to Debbie? Or how much is he lying to Oliver? He's either lying to someone, and I think that's really interesting. Um, you obviously big talks on animation this episode, especially with Thragg. And Thragg is going to be something I want to talk about for a hot minute. Um, bro, this dude was supposed to be the big bad. This dude's supposed to be stronger than Conquest, more badass than Conquest. Like, I'm sorry, bro. He has no aura. Like, Thragg has no aura. They did him so dirty. I've seen comic panels where it's like, we dropped the ball so much. Like, what happened? What happened with this? And then not only do you have the Thragg animation issues, he's just not intimidating. The voice acting is not like surreal at all. It's not sinister like. It's like when he's losing his a battle. It's like he's like, no. It's like, bro, where's the level of intimidation that we have with Conquest, that we did have with Conquest? Um, it's like it just feels like there's just a lack of umph and energy and sinister aura around Thragg. Like, bro is literally, it looks like, you know, a Saiyan mixed with Craven the Hunter, but is not, doesn't have any of that appeal. Like, literally not at all. Like, I don't care about the character. I'm not afraid by the character. And if you can't do either of those things with the villain, then you got a problem. Granted, it is very early into seeing what Thragg can do, and I'm sure he will beat the shit out of Mark. Okay, but I just really want to see some badass moments, and like, you either got to go into we care about the character, or it's conquest. It's like you can have a really badass. The show really proved it with Conquest, and it did the best of both worlds. It made you care, and he was extremely badass in Omni Man in season 1. So the show has showed that it can do both, and it also showed that it can do one or the other with conquest. So let's see it. Like literally, that's all we got to do. Let's see it. Uh, and that's just like my big issue with this. That was what I was referring to early in the video. There's just I don't know. It's just I really want to see some really like big progression from this. Like there needs to be. I don't know if Thragg is the big bad, but I know they're fighting a whole galactic war with him, and that's he's got to be sinister, and he's like, or I gotta care, and I'm not feeling either of those things right now, and that's what it drags it down to, um, and then the shading. There's a big on the Twitter timeline, Instagram. It's like if we just got a little bit of shading like this, and I can pull up the clip. If I do like a TikTok of this, but there's just a level of oomph. It's just like Invincible for me has always been like a very good to great show, but like to put it up with like the Game of Thrones of the world, like it needs it needs that more oomph, with animation and sometimes even spotty voice acting, which is kind of crazy because they spent a lot of their money on that. Um, but yeah, and then you have a bunch of these characters that it's kind of like the wait for Mark crew now. It's like Alan's a dog, and now you have Tech Jacket, which people are just putting on fraud watch because she literally just is like floating and just shooting lasers. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing besides playing video games with Alan? Um, but yeah, you know, the bones of this episode is really Nolan and Oliver reuniting. And I thought that was done very well. Kind of just to recap what I've talked about. The whole war, if I'm interested in the war, sure. I mean, I think what the war does best is really makes us focus on the main characters. Like as a guy that was never like the biggest fan of like the Guardians of the Globe like subplots or any of like those like side stories. Sure, like we don't really get to see those anymore, and we really can focus on the development between Mark, Nolan, Oliver, and before they leave, Debbie and Paul, and then Adam, and that's like the main group right there. That's what we need. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I think the show's in a decent trajectory. I thought the war would be a little bit more surreal, especially after episode 5. No, I'm not expecting people's intestines to be ripped out every episode. That's not what I'm asking for. But it didn't feel like there was any stakes um, at all, frankly, in episode 6. And, when you have a superhero show or action show in general, you want to have those stakes. You want to have tension with your characters. You want to feel the pain. You want to feel every punch. And that you got that in episode 5. But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of left just wanting more. And then we have 2 more weeks now, and I am excited. I think this season has been roughly good. I'd say just good, but you know how Invincible always cranks it up with the later episodes in the season. So, yeah, like I said, a lot shorter video, especially with these two not yapping because I don't know why these guys aren't talking. But yeah, peace.